All righty. Welcome everyone to the Texas Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Chelsea and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. But you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type questions to the presenters at any time. This is one of many sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. If you missed one or you want to watch this one again, the presentations are being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Texas. And without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter, and that's going to be San Diego State University.
Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming tonight. My name is Heidi. I am a senior admissions counselor at San Diego State University, and I work with applicants from the state of Texas. So should anybody apply, you can work with me directly. So we're just going to get right into it. So San Diego State has a lot to be proud of. We are currently ranked #1 in California, 7 in the nation for our study abroad programs. We have over 200 academic degrees, about 100 of which at the undergraduate degree level. Most popular majors tend to be nursing, biology, business, psychology, and engineering. We are currently number 38 for best colleges, best return on investment. So quality education at a great price. Top 35 for diversity, also about 35,000 students on campus. So we are considered to be fairly large. That said, you can walk from one end to the other within about 15 minutes. If anyone's not too familiar with San Diego or where our campus is located within San Diego is in Southern California. We are about 20 miles from the Mexico border. Our campus itself is about 10 to 15 minutes inland from the airport and most of the major beaches. Also about an hour and a half from Disneyland. Mountains are about an hour away. So there's a lot that you can do. San Diego is of course known for its lovely weather. It's about 70, 75 degrees the entire year. A few things that we try to promote for student success. A big one is our Honors College. Now, Honors College is for those students who are maybe coming in with above average test scores, GPA. We would encourage you to apply for this program. It is a separate application. If admitted to honors, you're going to have additional opportunities for scholarship, for advising, pretty small class sizes, and you'll live in a residential hall with all the other honor students as well. In addition, we have a fantastic career services department that helps our students find employment, whether that be part-time, full-time, internships, volunteer work, and then they also will help with finding employment once you graduate. So we highly encourage our students to work closely with career services. Some important dates to be aware of. San Diego State is a part of the California State University system. So this is 23 public universities in California, and we are all on one application, which is calstate.edu/apply. And that application closes on November 30th. So that's a very important date to be aware of. It is currently open, but it will close November 30th for those that are currently seniors. We also will be test blind this year. So for fall 2022 applicants, we will not be considering your test scores to make an admissions decision. So just be aware of that. In terms of admissions, we mostly look at course content. The Cal State application does not have an essay or letters of recommendation, so it really comes down to your coursework and GPA. If applying to a public university in California, you're going to want to ensure that you're completing what we call A through G classes, which are these subjects here. You need to complete those while in high school, regardless of your graduation requirements at your current state or school. There's a lot that you can get involved in at San Diego State. We certainly encourage that. We have 46 Greek organizations. We have an Associated Students, which is like our student government, as well as 300 student clubs and organizations. So there truly is something for everybody on our campus. As I mentioned, San Diego is known for its weather, so there's a lot of opportunity for outdoor recreational activities. We do have a facility at the beach called the Aquatic Center, where you can check out kayaks, surfboards, sailboats. You can even take classes there for credits. We have a beautiful gym, a swimming facility, and your fees are already included in all of these activities, so no additional cost there. We also always love to highlight athletics. We are Division I Mountain West School, so we're a very spirited and prideful campus, specifically when it comes to football and basketball. And students do get free admissions to home games, so you don't have to pay anything extra to attend and be a kind of a part of that school spirit. Also, we do have intramural and club sports, so keep that in mind if it's something that you are interested in and want to just have a little bit of fun, get involved. This is the email for our office, but like I said, I will also be putting my direct email and phone number in the chat. So should you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to me directly. I hope you guys have a great night.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up we have University of California, Santa Cruz.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sandra Ponce, and I am the Regional Admissions Representative for the University of California, Santa Cruz, and I'm happy to be with you this evening as I am the representative for Texas. I wanted to start off by just sharing a little bit about our location in the state of California. We are one of the 9 University of California campuses. We are in Northern California. We are the closest UC campus to Silicon Valley. We are about 45 minutes south of the San Jose area. That is the closest airport, and about an hour and a half south of San Francisco. In reference to Southern California, we are about a 5.5-hour drive from the Los Angeles area. Our proximity to Silicon Valley, as you can see, definitely lends itself for students when they're looking for internships as well as job placement after they graduate our campus. We have a total student population of about 19,000 students. 17,000 of those are undergraduate students working on their bachelor's degree. So we call ourselves a true undergraduate campus. As far as academic opportunities on our campus, we do have 69 majors, 40 minors within 5 different academic divisions. The most popular majors on our campus would be computer science, business management, economics, psychology, and human biology, which is our pre-med major. Now, when you're applying out of high school, your major is not a factor in the admissions decision. You have up until about the end of your second year to actually declare your major. You're welcome to put a major of interest on your application so you can be advised appropriately. There is one exception to this rule, and that would be students interested in computer science. If you are planning to major in computer science, you would want to list that on your application as your first choice major, and then list an alternate major, as computer science is the most selective major on our campus. Know that many students do double major or add a minor, and that's something you could work with your advisor while you're on our campus. Now, another unique aspect about the Santa Cruz campus is the 10 residential college system. Now, these are residential living, learning communities. When our campus was initially built, the chancellor at the time wanted to ensure that students still had the opportunities, just like our peers at our larger sister campuses of a large research institute, but they wanted our campus to have a much smaller liberal arts college feel to it. So they went ahead and implemented the residential college system. Now, your affiliation with the college is separate from your academic major. So all students do the same general education on our campus. There's only one writing course that is affiliated with your college, but each college does have its own theme, have its own housing, and does house each of the different academic divisions. One thing to note is there is another campus in the system that does have the residential college set up as well, and that would be UC San Diego, which you would rank at the time of application when you are completing the UC app. For UC Santa Cruz, you rank your college affiliation when you're ready to accept our offer. I did want to speak a little bit this evening about admissions to the University of California system. Know that all of our campus look at your applications holistically through a comprehensive review, about half of that coming from the academic areas, which are the subject areas, the courses you've taken, the subject A through G courses, as well as the GPA you've earned in those courses in your 10th and 11th grade. Now, for students coming from outside of California, you would need a 3.4 GPA in those courses to meet eligibility. The second part of that evaluation, comprehensive review, is coming from the other part of the application where you're listing all your activities, your involvement, your leadership, your community service. The reason why I'd like to make sure students are aware that we're looking at everything you did in high school is because we're not only considering the activities you were involved in at your high school, We want to hear about all the things you did, whether that was at your community center, your church, at your work. So please make sure you're including all of that in the application again, so we get a bigger picture of what you've done during those 4 years. There's also the personal insight questions that students will respond to. There are 8 on the application and you choose 4 to respond to. You have 350 words to respond to the personal insight questions. We just have too many students applying to our campuses that we're not able to offer an interview. So think of the personal insight questions as that opportunity for us to get to know you just a little better. I did want to review some deadlines for the UC application. It is open. It opened on August 1st for any students planning to, any seniors planning to apply for fall of 2022. You will submit that application in the month of November between the 1st or 30th. We encourage you to get it done early and enjoy your Thanksgiving break. Our campuses will then notify you anywhere between late February through the month of March. Most campuses release their decision March 15th. You will then need to decide on a campus and submit your statement of intent to register by May 1st. If our campuses do use a wait list this academic cycle, you will then be notified for the decisions on the wait list anywhere between May through June and sometimes even July. As far as scholarship opportunities on the University of California, Santa Cruz campus, know that we do have a designated scholarship for students coming from outside of California, and that is our Undergraduate Dean's Award. It is in total $40,000 that is broken up over 4 years. So it would be awarded at the highest $10,000 per year to go towards that non-resident fee. Now, in order for our financial aid to package you, it is crucial for you to make sure you submit the FAFSA during the priority deadline so that we could then send you an estimated award shortly after an admissions decision. Here is some information to stay connected. I will also put up the QR code for a second if you'd like to register for an event. And thank you. I'm going to throw some links in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Next up, we have the University of Redlands.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Viviana. I'm an admission counselor here at the University of Redlands. I work specifically with students who also live in Texas. So if you end up applying, I'll be an admission counselor that will be working with you. So a little bit about the University of Redlands. We're a small private liberal arts here in Southern California. We have about 2,400 current undergraduate students. About 60% of our students that come are from California, the California residents. About 35% are out of state, and then 5% international. We are residential, so it means that students will be required to live on campus all 4 years. Typically, you can choose from our residence halls or suite style living and apartment style living as well. We strive to be an inclusive, socially conscious community, always changing and providing support to our students. We have over 40 different academic programs that you can do covering the sciences, the humanities, and we have moved to being test optional permanently as well. There we go. So this is a map where we're located. So you can see we're a little bit closer to the mountains. Ontario Airport is the closest airport to us. We also provide shuttles for students that may need to go to the airport. We're about an hour and 10 from Los Angeles, about like 50 minutes from the beaches. So pretty central to a lot of things within Southern California. Within our majors, our popular majors are business administration, or a psychology major, health, medicine, and society for students that may want to pursue something within medicine or health. We have then our political science major, and then our engineering 32. We also started 2 master's pathways. So for students interested in business, they can also do their MBA at Redlands. That's because we have our graduate school of business, education, and music on site. Then we also have our education 401 for students that may want to become teachers or do something within higher education. They can get their bachelor's in the subject that they plan to teach, their teaching credentials, and do a 1-year master's program as well. It's very common for our students to double major because of our size, and we can promise a 4-year graduation guarantee. Within our campus diversity and inclusion office, these are also the various centers that we have that help cater and provide additional support to students that may identify with these communities. They'll plan different events. Sometimes they have conferences, They may bring in keynote speakers to come and talk to students, and also just engage with the community overall. But other activities students can do outside their academics. So studying abroad is one of those activities that we definitely recommend students to participate in. We have our own study abroad program in Salzburg, Austria. So we send about 35 to 40 students every semester. But you can travel anywhere you want. It could be based on the major that you're doing, or, if you want to travel out to a location specifically, we can work with you and find a program. Other students may decide to also do internships. So internships are very popular to get that hands-on work experience, or research with faculty as well. Typically, research can be done in the summer, but there are some other opportunities to do it throughout the year. Within our application process, we are on the Comment app. We do have an application fee, but I'll share my contact information at the end, so you can email me and I can send you the code so you don't have to pay for that application. We'll be looking at your extracurricular activities, your essay. We have 2 Redlands questions that we ask as well. Within your high school transcript, we'll be looking at your 10th, 11th, and 12th grade classes. We ask for 1 letter recommendation, but you can always submit more than 1. And we have our 2 deadlines, one in the fall, November 15th, and then one in early spring, January 15th. Within our financial aid, the largest scholarship that we give to students is Merit. The Merit scholarship right now is at $34,000. It is a renewable scholarship as long as the student maintains a B-point average in their classes. Then we have our talent awards for a student that has a talent in art, creative writing, or theater. They can apply for an additional scholarship. And then we have some for music as well. So over 90% of the students that apply to Redlands receive some type of financial aid, whether they complete their FAFSA application. We'll see what other federal aid or loans, work study they may be given to them. I'll end with our Redlands tuition promise. So this is an initiative that we're driving to make sure that our students are still considering Redlands as an affordable option. Sorry. So 22 and 22 means that a student with a 3.5 GPA or higher will not pay more than $22,000 in tuition, regardless of where they live and what their parents' income. As long as they meet this criteria, you will not pay more than $22,000. We also have an initiative for students that live in California and receive the Cal Grant, and then students that live in the Pacific Northwest. This is my contact information as well. So if you do have any questions, I'll also post it in the chat. You can feel free to email me and let me know any questions you may have and how I can help you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up we have the University of San Diego.
All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. At the University of San Diego, I am an admissions counselor. I just started about 8 months ago, so I'm super excited to share what I've learned about the university and why I think it's such a good place to be. We like to help our students envision your horizon, so what it could look like for you all to be a student here. Our student population. We have about 5,500 undergraduate students and 3,000 graduate students. So altogether, we have about 9,000 students on campus. 48% of our students are out-of-state students and 7% are international students. 41% are students of color and 40% are Catholic. So we like to point out that the majority of our student population actually have a different faith background or don't have a faith background. What that shows is that anybody can come to USD and feel welcome and supported no matter what their background or culture or identity is. We also have another common question. Do we have a religious course requirement for students? Yes, we do. We have a lower division and an upper division class in the Department of Theology and Religious Studies. And so as long as it's in that department, it counts for the course requirement. At USD, we provide our students the liberal arts education. So pretty much that means interdisciplinary. We want our students to be able to learn across disciplines. We also believe in free inquiry. And so we accept our students as undeclared or undecided, and then you have about 2 years. You have your first year and second year until you have to declare a major. So you declare your major your second semester of your sophomore year, and we want you to have that time to kind of decide based on what you have in your interests or your passions or what classes you've already taken, what your major is going to be. So we have 41 majors, additional options for minors and concentrations, and pre-professional advising programs for students who are going into pre-health or pre-law. We also like to emphasize our small classroom sizes. So the average class size is 21, the student to faculty ratio is 12:1. And so it provides this intimate learning environment for our students where they truly get to know their peers and their professors, which is helpful when they need things like letters of recommendation, or they're looking for research opportunities, or they're looking for jobs after graduation. It'll be a lot easier to do that because they've taken the time to really get to know their professors and vice versa. So at the University of San Diego, we have lots of options for our students to get engaged on campus and off campus. On campus, we have over 180 clubs and organizations, and there's a variety of them. So if you're interested in service, if you're looking for something social, maybe you want something connected to your academic discipline, there are clubs all over the place. We also have Division I athletics as well as club and intramural sports. And so if you want to play officially for the school, you can do that. We are in the West Coast Conference for Division I athletics. Or if you want a more relaxed experience with sports, you can do club and intramural sports on campus. We also have spaces called the Commons that are physical spaces targeted towards certain identity groups. So we have the Black Student Resource Commons, the LGBTQ plus and Allies Commons, the Women's Commons, and the United Front Multicultural Commons. So again, these are physical spaces, but they're targeted towards these identity groups to have workshops, have speakers come, put on events, social things, and things like that. But we also encourage all students, no matter if you fall into these identities or not, to go into the space, network, and build relationships with other students. We are in San Diego, so America's finest city. We are the 8th largest city in the United States, 2nd largest city in California. So there's so many things for our students to do. We're centrally located, so about 10 minutes from Pacific Beach and Mission Beach, 10 minutes from the airport, 10 minutes from downtown, and about 25 minutes from the US-Mexican border. So we're very close to all the things our students like to do, and we encourage our students to go off campus and get involved. And I forgot to mention that fraternity and sorority life, about 27% of our student population participate in that. And so 9 sororities, 9 fraternities, lots of options for students to get engaged. A big thing for us at USD is change making. So it's very popular, but it's also part of our admissions process. We look at students and we evaluate your application based on your academic achievements, your change maker qualities, and your letters of recommendation. So when it comes to those change maker qualities, what we're talking about is that we're an Ashoka Change Maker campus, which means we're one of 42 change maker campuses in the world that have an ongoing commitment to social justice, social innovation, entrepreneurship, sustainability, and global perspective. So we look at your extracurricular activities, we look at your passions, your interests, your essay, your letter of recommendations, and we say, okay, are there things that relate to our commitments as being a change maker campus that these students also have on their application? And so these are these commitments. You also have a couple questions you have to answer on the application relating to change making, but I'll get into that a little bit later. We are huge in study abroad. 80% of our students study abroad every year, so that's almost everybody. We have over 80 programs in 30 different countries, double degree programs in the School of Business, where a student can get a degree from USD and a degree from another school over in Europe. And we also have the USD Madrid Center, which is basically our satellite campus. Students can have the same experience that they have on campus at USD, small classroom sizes, a culture of care, except they'll be in Madrid. So some logistics. Our application deadline is December the 15th. We don't do early action or early decision. We just have that one deadline. We are on the Common App. And when I talked about those questions that relate to change making that students need to answer, those are the USD member questions. So you have 2 options to select from to answer these questions, as well as a personal essay. We do look at your official high school transcripts from 9th grade to 12th grade. We look at 1 academic letter of recommendation. So that's from a counselor or a teacher. You can send up to 2 other letters, so 3 altogether, but the one that's required is the academic letter. The TOEFL, the IELTS, the Duolingo is all for our international applicants. Those are the scores you will need. And the application fee is $55, but we tell all students to go and check the fee waiver in the Common App, and we are a test-free university. Lastly, my name is Monique Lynch. I am an admissions counselor at USD. That is my email, but I will post more information in the chat. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Okay, so at this point, we do have a few schools who are unable to join us this evening, so we are going to move on to the next portion. So I am going to invite everyone, all the presenters back on screen, and we're going to go through one more set of questions, just to kind of hear from everybody one more time. So I've got, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And I'm going to ask San Diego State University to go first.
Yeah, the best advice that I could offer would be, if at all possible, try to visit the campuses that you are truly considering. It might make sense to wait until after you get admissions decisions, but we all, we represent beautiful universities, and the best way to get a feel if it's a fit for you is to step onto that campus yourself. And I think all of us would agree that there is a good fit for everybody. It might not be the school we represent, although we hope it is, but you can really get an understanding by going visiting in person.
Thank you. University of California, what is your advice?
I agree with everything that my colleague from San Diego State said, but I would suggest pay attention to deadlines. Organize yourself. As you heard this evening, we all have different deadlines and timeframes. Start yourself some sort of calendar or folder so that you can organize those deadlines, because you don't want to miss any of them.
Definitely. Thank you. University of Redlands, what is your advice?
I definitely say apply to as many outside scholarships. I think if you have an essay that you can use in some of these scholarship application deadlines, knowing, the cost of attending college is going up. And so anything that you can do to apply to any local scholarships or, big scholarships will definitely help you. So that would be my advice.
Thank you. University of San Diego, what is yours?
I would say to take some time to make sure that the schools you're applying to are actually good fits for you as a student. A lot of times you have a perception of a school, you don't really know the school all that well, but you know what other people have told you. So just like my colleague at San Diego State said, try to go to the campus. I also suggest looking at the mission, the vision, look at what some other students are saying. If possible, try to talk to some current students and try to get a feel of the university before you just decide that's where you're going to go.
Thank you. Okay, my next question is, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school? And we'll go with San Diego State University.
Yeah, San Diego State, it is a big school, and I just want to emphasize that there are so many ways to make it feel small and make it feel like yours. Oftentimes with a big school, you might think that you'll get lost in the shuffle, and the staff and faculty, they truly care about the students. And when you need them, we're here for you.
Thank you. University of California, what is yours?
We have a community for everyone. So, once you get on any of our campuses, it's really important that you connect and find your people. And I would say at UC Santa Cruz, between the residential colleges and our student organizations, there's definitely a fit for you. So just remember that there's no one type of student that our campus is for.
Thank you. University of Redlands, what's one thing?
Definitely say our location. So being close to the mountains, close to the city, students are able to explore a lot of things over the weekend. And so I think you'll definitely have, enough time to enjoy being on campus. But then if you also want to, travel to LA, if you want to go to the beach, if you want to go hiking in the mountains, go to Joshua Tree, like you'll be able to do that very easily on campus.
Thank you. And the University of San Diego?
I would say that one of our goals is to make sure that all of our students are feeling welcomed and supported. And so in whatever aspect that means for you as a student, we're going to try and make that happen, whether that's support services or whether that's trying to help you get engaged in the community. Whatever the case may be, our biggest thing is to make sure that all of our students feel welcomed, like they're supposed to be there, and supported during their time at USD.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, my last question is, what is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process? San Diego State, do you want to start?
Sure. I think what I hear a lot is that prospective students are like almost afraid to ask questions or call us. They want to figure it out on their own because they think it might make you look bad. And that is so far from the truth. We are real people and we love to hear from you. Asking a question, we know that this type of process, it can be stressful and it can be really hard. And anything we can do to help, any stress we can help relieve, that's what we're here for. So please reach out to us.
Thank you. UC Santa Cruz?
I would say that you need to have straight A's to get into a competitive campus. We're we're looking at you holistically. We know that you're more than just your grades and the courses you took. So keep that in mind as you're applying to our campuses. You want to make sure you're giving yourself options, apply to a reach and a realistic and a safety school.
Thank you. University of Redlands.
Yeah, something that I'd probably share is when your extracurricular activities, include anything that you were involved, as small as it may be, if it was a service project, if you were boys and girls, if you're an athlete in a band, if you're an older sibling and you help take care of your younger siblings. I mean, those things are valuable. And although it's not like the necessary like club and involvement, it let us know what were some of those things that you were doing outside of your academics that, took that time away from it. So we'll be looking at, your application holistically as well.
Thank you. University of San Diego.
I would say that that admissions counselors, we're all looking for like a good, like one set of things. Like the student has to have all A's and amazing grades and the SAT scores through the roof and all these things. And all these schools are different. Like all of the schools here tonight, as well as probably all the schools you're looking at, are looking for different things in students because the type of universities that we have different missions, we have different values and things that we're trying to look for in our students. And so there's usually information on the website, or you can ask the admissions counselor, what kind of students are you all looking for at this institution? And that'll help you to see, okay, what do I need in order to look competitive at this school, as instead of the idea that you have to have all these wonderful things, everything has to be perfect. So
Absolutely. Thank you. Alrighty, great. So that is going to bring things to a close for us this evening. So big thank you to our presenters for your time and all the information you put together for us this evening. And thank you to our participants for being with us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick survey. Any feedback you can provide would be greatly appreciated. You'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all the other recordings at strivescan.com/Texas. And with that, we are going to conclude our session. So thank you so much for being here and have a good evening.